on to the Brian Kelly part of the show. Let's start off with this. And I felt like this was an interesting tweet. I don't know how many people got to see it, but from a fundamental level, simply put, Brian Kelly's rooting for Notre Dame. And I'm not really surprised by it. Quite frankly, it's just one of those emotional ties. You've been there for so long. But I want to dig a little deeper at the surface of what he's talking about why he's rooting for Notre Dame. It's not just because he coached in South Bend for some time. It's not just because he wore those colors for years. It's because there's some players left on that team that he recruited and he still feels a personal connection with. Now, the recruiting side of it's interesting, right? Because it kind of goes into our point about the program change, about how, quite frankly, simply put, Brian Kelly left Notre Dame in a better situation and in a better spot, in better health and better whatever you want to talk about, roster health, staff, this, that, the third, playoff contingency. Brian Kelly left Notre Dame more competitive than Coach Armstrong left LSU. Simply put, and I think the rapid climb to success is a direct reflection of the years of sustained success at that program. I mean, becoming a national championship contender requires you to be a playoff contender for some years, and that they were under Brian Kelly. I mean, they've been to a national championship under Brian Kelly. They had pieces around them under Brian Kelly, and as he said, you know, still wants to be around and see those guys win it all. He's excited for them. He's still got positive feelings for him, and it's just interesting talking about a lot of the guys there on both sides of the ball I recruited. It's one of the first things I thought of. And I'm not thinking that this is him trying to take credit or him trying to say, oh, well, this is all because of me, or him trying to bite a little bit off of it. I don't think it's that at all. I think he's just simply put, being honest, giving some, added context to a situation that I feel like a lot of people, ourselves included, could see from a mile away. He's a program builder. I mean, in the SEC, the first 3 years, people got rapidly accustomed to success with Brian Kelly. When you go to the SEC title game, in your first season, you beat Alabama in that first season as well. Next season, you get one of the best offenses that you've seen pretty much bar one other team, 2019 LSU. Got to see that translate. And then now in the third year, when things didn't continuously go in that upward crescendo, everybody panics and everybody just immediately asks, is he the guy? If he was the guy for the first 2 years to keep you playoff competitive and have you kind of feel it out, I feel like he's going to be the guy for the next few years. I think he can get to that point. I'm not going to say he hadn't had his best shot yet, because you could really argue that the Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas team was a team you could have had a shot with. But all in all, in terms of getting in the playoffs, in terms of having a run, not having every single thing go wrong, whether it be injuries, this game going one way, or whatever the case may be, starting the year 0-1. I mean, they haven't really had a season that just fell in the way they needed it to fall. I think, this offseason, it's going to be a little different, though. I mean, it's not like he's blind to what's going on around him. It's not like he's in a situation oblivious to the fact where if he doesn't produce this season, there's going to be some decisions and some tough questions to be asked in the LSU athletic department. That's going to add some initiative. That's going to make him, really try to figure out and honestly feel it out with a team that had a little bit of growing pains. And I know that there seems to be a lot, and you can point back to a lot of games. You can point back to potential games in South Carolina and even the home game with Ole Miss that they could have lost. The team, I feel like, has to just go through that phase, and I'm glad that they did it. I mean, even Jaden Daniels and that LSU squad had to go through it as well that first year, getting boat raced in the SEC title game. It's just a part of the process. It's just a part of the phase, and I want to end off with this. Just remember, if Ohio State wins, I'm sure all this chatter dies down. The only reason everybody's panicking is because Notre Dame could potentially hoist a trophy. If it doesn't happen, I think this entire conversation spins on its head. But I just really don't see, the flat getting given to Brian Kelly. I don't understand it. I don't get how, Marcus Freeman is just given this, this pass because he was taking over a program that really didn't need much restructuring. Did he change it a little bit? Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure every coach puts a spin on it. But I really do think this is a similar situation to this isn't a direct comparison in terms of results, but like Kalen DeBoer taking over Alabama. Everybody's saying it's not going to be as difficult of a project. You've got the players, at least the players that didn't portal out. You still got the resources, still got the collective, the boosters, whatever you want to say. it's not really the toughest project comparatively to going to an Auburn or whatever the case may be. I do think not all head coaching jobs are created alike, and I think it's the very, same instance in this situation.